Okay?
No matter how experienced you get behind a mic in a recording studio, when you put the headphones on and step in front of the mic, it's almost tradition to just like breathe and like hear yourself make noise and maybe hear the spit in your mouth. It's tradition. It's funny to see that it transcends culture. We all just do the same thing.
3、2、1 Hello， 大家好，我哋係 Mira。好。循環不轉那圈套，生死間天會陌路，重逢那一個擁抱，可有或無
Interesting. Already we've heard the flavor of each of their voices, which so far just seems nice. But I find it interesting, in several of these videos I've been shown, I see more unison singing than I'm used to seeing in Western culture. And if this is in fact unedited and is live singing, to which I have not decided yet, my opinion on that, it's risky to sing unison because when you're singing the very same notes, if there's any discrepancies, it becomes quite obvious. So interesting choices.
浮華裏歡笑苦惱，電光閃爍，芳草慣路，便停步，忘掉名字淨土。
Okay, so this gentleman has a habit that, again, when you are a big artist, and I assume these are, you can have all sorts of vocal habits that I may recommend against, but if your fans love it and if it's working for you, then you can do whatever you want. But I call it the push-pull. Hold on. So we're over-committing, or I shouldn't say over-committing, but heavily committing to a note, immediately pulling back and fixing it, and then kind of finding ourselves back in center. So we get this kind of energy. Pushing and pulling, da. Again, if your fans love it and they're used to it, you can do whatever you want. But this is something I would recommend to a singer to be more consistent. Da 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 da, not da 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 da. I'm exaggerating. By no means was he that aggressive push-pull, just so you know what I mean.
秘聞中鼓舞，困惑中迷路，才找個樂與苦源自創造。
Pretty harmony!
繁星怎麼要發光，直到天曉，真空還發光。
This gentleman is a cleaner vocalist for my ear. I don't hear anything terribly unique or fancy, but that's not necessary. It's clean.
線隨住閃耀，陪同在黑夜路人秒，築起的微笑。
He's using a little bit of falsetto, right? Pulling back a little bit, so we get a little bit of a ride, a little bit of flavor.
留待燦爛晨曦再溶掉，繁星怎麼要發光？自有花，
He does this a lot, this guy.
分曉，清空萬里苦恨，全世界。
Yeah, I'm curious. If you are a fan of this band, have you noticed that? And do you in fact love it? Or did you simply not notice it? I always am curious when someone is in love with the sound of an artist, what they love. So I'm curious if that's something that you simply didn't notice or ignore or doesn't matter, or in fact that you like it. It's always so interesting.
對照，困又是分秒，看人類多麼渺小，沉迷在見識破醒不了。
But for me, this is a lot.
從透明海那冰凍，漆黑跟光明互動，微流暖風裏憶記，清澈朦朧。狂和夢對齊相同，黃沙保送，多少波動，被愚弄，迎來明鏡。
That phrase is the nicest phrase I've heard him sing so far. Did you hear how he kind of leaned into the line? We didn't get any of that push-pull. It expanded all the way to what I'm assuming is going to be a bigger place in the song for him. That was a lovely phrase. We're back to, oh, he almost made it. But he's using some falsetto, right? Or some head voice. Ah, he's up there now. These two singers for me are fine. But again, being a immaculate singer is a completely different beast than being a loved artist. So whatever they have done, I'm assuming they're well loved. So you don't have to be, I was going to say Beyonce. Well, I don't know what the right reference would be for their fans when it comes to a immaculate technical singer. You just need to be likable. And obviously they must be.
謝謝你陪着光芒，繁星怎麼要發光？只有分曉，清空萬里呼喊，全世界。
If this is not edited or tuned, this harmony is very tight, but I'll be honest, I do think this is a little bit edited, and I'm going to let you behind the curtain a little bit of why I think so. I will always preface this by saying this does not mean an artist or singer isn't good. I'm just telling you what I know because I've done this for a long time. In this particular video, we see nothing but the singers, right? There's no band in the room. We hear the track playing. Obviously, they're hearing the track in their ears. That's how it works at a recording studio. But in this scenario, there's no other sound in the room. No guitar playing, no violins, no piano. So what that means is when the vocals are recorded, especially when they are solo, if they were recorded live, it is pretty easy to go back in and make some minor edits or even some major edits because the room is silent, so there's no other sound leaking into the mic. We all do it sometimes. There's a time and a place to polish things. So that's my guess, and that's just some information for you as you're looking and listening to musicians. I hope it doesn't come across that I am mocking him. I mean, I will say that when I coach and when I work with clients, as people get used to my style, I do make the sound that I hear singers making because I think it is important for singers to hear back what they're doing from somebody else. Because when we get used to making a sound, I guess for you, if you're a fan of this artist or simply know of this artist, maybe just hearing me do an exaggerated version of something he is doing is just an interesting food for thought to hear that out of a different singer. Is that interesting? Maybe?
看人類多麼渺小，沉淪在昨晚與他朝，原為了人還未了。勇闖今生缺口，他生再走。那需千生藉口，在這一刻放手，誰在對視無聲之去和烏有，重生的心跳。
So we've got a key change and more unison. So again, we've entered a place in the song where both singers are singing the exact same notes in the exact same octave, and it appears they're matching quite well. So I believe they probably have quite good ears. But I'm curious again. For me, The one gentleman, as you know, I've kind of said he's got that push-pull habit. The other one is quite clean. I don't hear any glaring habits of note, but in some ways they almost sound similar. I don't know that either one of them stands out in my mind, but I bet you, to their fans, you guys probably could identify their voices, right? I find they sound similar.
破開天曉，虛空幻變的愛，完美閃耀，陪同在黑夜路人廟，儲起的微笑，留待宇宙臨終無預兆。群星一起叫蒼穹熔掉，盤旋萬里青空上呼。
They are matching rhythmically. This is pretty tight. This is interesting to hear this long of unison. I don't hear this often in Western culture.
呼喊逐全對焦，幻滅是分秒，看人類即使渺小，誰在說我愛你那刻，情傳萬有才是美妙。
That's interesting. So they both sang those ascending melodic lines, and you can hear, when you hear the first gentleman do it with the push-pull, I could see someone saying, well, it's because he's passionate. It's because he's passionate and he's invested in the line, so that's why it sounds like that. And then the second gentleman does a similar ascending line, and you can hear how much cleaner it is to just lean into the line without interrupting with that push-pull. To me, that's a really great example for you guys to see what I'm talking about, of a supported clean line where the singer leans in the whole time, and then one where the singer's choosing to make it a more bumpy ride. Solid. Oh, they seem cute.
哇，鬆晒個人。
Singing live is stressful.
Yeah.
The first take.
Wouldn't it be nice